good evening, everyone. Welcome to Upper 90 Plus. This is your host, GB. Thank you for joining us and joining into the telecast. Exciting tonight. Making history. Our very first interviewee will be on this evening. My favorite keeper. As you know, last week we did a podcast about the goalkeeper position. I gave my philosophy on it and certain things. But now we're going to have on a gentleman by the name of Austin Jobson, who actually plays the position at a very high level. This young man is doing things in his career, and wanted to have him. Really, really excited to have him joining us. His father, friends, Jobson, and I grew up playing ball, as you know from earlier podcasts, and I'm going to go ahead and bring him online now.
Hi.
Hey, Austin. Good evening. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Oh, doing well. Thank you. I appreciate you asking. And how are things going? How's everything going with you?
Really good. Happy to be here. Yeah.
Glad to have you, and very glad to have you. So I'm just gonna jump right in. I got a lot of questions to ask you, man, because I know the fans and viewers out there. First of all, they want to really know about this position, especially goalkeepers listening in, getting your philosophy on the position, and how do you see it as well as you playing the position. So I'm just gonna just jump right in here. So first question: what Asian event piqued your interest in football soccer? First of all.
Probably like 4 or 5. I mean, my dad was a big influence on that, and my older brother also. So just
Okay.
seeing them play and just watching them, that really piqued my interest. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Excellent. All right. So the next question now. How old were you when you started playing? You said 4 or 5, of course.
Mhm.
And then now, what position did you actually play when you first started? What position?
Growing up, yeah, playing rec and all that, I just played all over. But then once I started
Okay.
getting to travel, then I moved to goalkeeper.
Okay. All right. Excellent. All right. And then, when did you actually know that you wanted to become a goalkeeper? When did it like just say you woke up one day and said, "Okay, this is what I want to do"?
Um, Probably just playing with my older brother. He was like, "All right, you go in goal," because he would just wanted to shoot and stuff. So I go in goal. Like, this is
So
really
you're more
fun.
like
So
a target practice kind of thing?
exactly. But
Was it because
yeah,
he was older and he wanted to tell you what to do, or did you just want to just go in goal just to kind of just beat him and say, "Look, I'll save the ball on you"? Is that was a
well,
competitive thing, or what was it?
it started off as he said, "You just go in goal," but then I started going, so it got more
Okay.
competitive. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Thank you for that. All right. So, how many years have you been playing the position currently?
Competitively, probably like 8. I think 8 or 9 years I've been playing. So yeah.
Okay. And are you playing on the same team now, or have you just gone through each age group, or how was your process with that?
Same team. I started off as in rec, of course, and then after that, travel around 12, and then just kept playing there, age group. Then going into college now, but I had an injury, so I'm just gonna sit out my
Okay.
first year. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So, I mean, in those age group divisions as rec, did you just play against different academy teams, or were you in academy? I mean, how was your process? Explain to me so that the viewers can know if someone is your age, what do they do to get into the position that you're in right now? How do they do
Probably like 13, 14. I was just playing around local teams. But
that?
then
Okay,
as I got older, like 15 and 16, then I started traveling a little bit more with like academy and ECNL and just that level. Mhm.
okay. So you played different other academies around the state or around the country, or how
Uh,
does that
Around
work?
the state and around and the country, yeah. And I
Okay.
even traveled to Europe a couple times for some
Oh,
tournaments.
wonderful, man.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Now, do you like? Okay, so you play for your academy team. Do you go outside of your academy team and play for other teams as well, or are you strictly, supposed to just play for your academy team? How does that work?
I just play for my academy team,
Okay,
but I high school also. So
okay,
high school soccer.
okay, all right. And I appreciate that. All right. So, what did you do to get better each year as a footballer? What did you do personally to get better?
The main thing is just working hard. I know everyone says that, but working on your weaknesses. Like I would ask my coach, okay, what are my weaknesses, and I try and work on those specific things and things that make me uncomfortable when I'm playing, and just repetition and just yeah.
Okay, all right. And ask your coach and the viewers out there. I mean, you need to ask if you want to progress. Right? That's the main thing. Thinking that you're the superstar in the team, you don't need anything done. To ask. So I appreciate you saying that for everyone. Ask to get better. That's great advice. That's great advice. Now, what foot do you actually use to punt the ball? Which one? Your right or your left? Or do you use
Just I'm
both? I mean,
right-footed, so I
can you
use
use
my
both?
well,
Okay. All right.
I use my right foot, but as I got older, you kind of need to learn to use both feet. So I started practicing, of course, kicking the ball with my left, but then punting the ball
Okay.
and just all things with both feet.
Okay. And that goes into my next question. When did you start using both feet? And more importantly, how did you learn to use both feet?
I guess once I got more competitive, maybe like 14, I really need to start working on my left foot. So I just go against a
Okay.
wall and I just kick it back and forth just against a wall. Or
Okay.
some days in practice, I just like focus on my left, only using my left. And I do things like that. And of course, just
Okay.
practicing by yourself and with friends.
Got you. Okay. So when you punt the ball, do you punt it normally straight up and down, or do you side kick it like I see a lot of keepers doing nowadays, or is it based off of the what's going on in the game that you need to side kick or punt? What is your philosophy on that? Talk me through
This
that
is,
process. In other words.
depends on the situation. So a side volley, maybe for a quick counter attack, or yeah, just getting the ball up quick. Or I could just kick it straight up in the
Okay.
air just to get my teammates up, and I can also kick that a lot further. So
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for enlightening us on that. Now I'm going to talk about a little about the position itself. How vocal are you as a goalkeeper, and how important is it to be vocal to your teammates?
well, me personally, I was never very vocal, but as I got older, every coach is saying you need to talk, you need to talk. So I just got out of my comfort zone, and just it's very important as a keeper to talk to your teammates, talk to your defenders. I mean, they rely on you, and because you can see the whole field. So
Because you can see the whole field. Gotcha. Okay. And then back to that now. How often do you actually talk to them? Are you quiet during the game at sometimes, or is it just you're quiet to that person because you see something else going on? You need to say something there. And then also too before the game, do you all discuss things? So it's a two-part question here. Before the game, what's the discussion like?
before the game, if we know the other team, it's important that my defenders
Okay.
know what their strengths and weaknesses are, and just to tell them, okay, keep this guy, push him onto his left or whatever, and
Right.
just important, yeah, just important that they know our opposition as well as I do. And
Excellent.
during the game, it's very important. You need to be communicating with them pretty much the whole game, if it's a competitive game, just telling them, because a lot of the time they can't see behind them or what's next to them. They can't see where their teammate is. So it's your job
Okay.
to tell them what to do.
Okay. Because you're the eyes and the vocal leader as well. Okay. All right. So now, do you prefer punting or throwing, and why? What is your philosophy on that now?
Again, this just depends on the situation. Throwing, it's easier for me to just get it out quick with my arm, but punting, I can just go a lot further with it. So it really just depends on the situation.
Depends on the situation. Okay. All right. Now let's talk about like your position in the goal now. When do you decide to come out of the goal compared to staying in the goal? So give me some scenarios where you would stay in and go and come out.
It really varies for different situations. You need a lot of experience to perfect this one, and even the best can't perfect it. So,
Right.
uh,
Right.
you want to see if you can get to the ball. You need to go, and you need to get to the ball and just take it because you have your hands. So, just come out. And if it's outside the box, you got to get there because if you're outside the box and they beat you to the ball, then it's pretty much a goal. So you just have to be sure of yourself and just experience. It comes with experience.
Okay. So, with as far as it sounds like you're more aggressive coming out, but your body positioning in the goal. Do you look behind you first before you come out, or as the person is coming towards you, you kind of already know where you are to make a decision to come out? Talk to me about that. What do you do prior to deciding to come out?
Well, with a lot of the teams I played, they played a high line, so I'm often a little bit off my line, like outside the
Okay.
box, depends on the
Okay.
area. But I need to know where I am, whether I'm looking down at the paint to see where in the goal I am, or just different things like that to make sure I know what position I am. That way I can better determine like when I should come out and when I should stay back up into my goal.
Okay. All right. And then now, when you do stay in your goal, as if I mean, of course, someone coming down the middle, coming to the left or the right, how do you position yourself to know, and what do you look for to position yourself? I mean, in other words, if someone's coming to you on the left, are you looking to see where other players are on that team to possibly, when you make a save, deflect it away? How do you know when to punch the ball away?
It's uh it's important that you
I don't know if
always
you heard the
your head
question.
is on head is on a swivel. Yeah. So you're looking
Okay.
behind, you're looking to the side and saying, okay, should I punt this one out? I know I have to hold this one, or it just depends on the situation. So I'm looking at my post, looking where my defenders are and where I should hit the ball or where I should deflect the ball. Should I hit it out? Should I hit it over the bar? It just really depends on the situation.
The situation. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you for that. All right, so let's talk about little scenarios here. What is your thought process on when there's a corner? The ball goes out. It's a corner kick. Let's say to when you're standing in the goal to your right side. What is your process? What's the first thing that you do?
To look at their dangerous players, knowing who's going to be a danger, you know. So I get my strongest guy or whatever to put the man, you know, make sure everyone's marked up, and then I look at the guy. Is it left footed or right footed, curling it
Okay.
in or keeping it
Okay.
in. Then I just making sure everyone's covered. Go back to my line, and then if they kick it, and then I know I can get to it, I need to go
Okay.
call for it and get the ball. Or if
Okay.
it's too far away from me, maybe, or a defender got it, I need to back up onto my line, position myself correctly, and just make the save if I have to.
Wow, man, that is like instantaneous that you have to think about all of these things. All right,
Mhm.
so that comes with time and practice. Okay. All right, man. That's awesome that you know that I heard. I think the viewers are really going to enjoy practicing all these techniques that you were talking about. Thank you for that. Now, in your mind, is there ever a time to stand still, keeper? In your opinion, when you're standing just completely still, or are you always just in tune to the game and always talking? How do you feel about that?
You should never really be, I mean, standing still. If the ball is out, maybe you should be talking to your defenders or just saying, okay, what's up next, making sure they know
Okay.
and to be prepared
Okay.
for the next situation. But you should always be making sure you know if you're in the right position. So if it's, I'm always walking. So whether it's a little bit like a yard in front of me or just a yard back, just to be in the exact position I need to be in. And yeah, you just need to be always moving. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that. All right. Now let's talk about when you're saving the ball. Ball comes to you in the air. What do you do first? You just caught the ball. What are your instincts first? What do you do
After you catch the ball or before you catch the ball?
here? When you catch it, what is the first thing that comes to mind for you as you on a save when you catch it? What do you do mentally wise?
So first thing is to make sure you're holding onto the ball. Before you think about anything else, you have to make sure you have the ball in your hands so
Okay.
you
Okay.
don't too much in your head. Then you catch it, then you look around. Should I throw it? Do I need to hold the ball to slow down the game? Just see my next decision. Uh,
Okay. Okay. All right. So that's when the catching. All right. So when you save the ball and you're lying on the ground, let's say on your stomach, what is your philosophy now? What do you do then, as far as that?
Kind of the same situation. Normally, I like to lay down a little bit just to slow down the game if we're winning or we're
Okay.
tying. But
Okay.
yeah, just to
Okay.
slow down the game and then just to look look around to see where everyone is.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right, man, you're doing great with these questions, man. I've got some serious answers here. So, who is your favorite goalkeeper and why? Why is he your favorite keeper?
Um, I have a few favorite. Maybe Iker Casillas for Real Madrid in Spain. I mean, I liked him growing up,
Okay.
just because of his reflexes and his speed and his just. He made his debut as a goalie at 18, which is like very, very hard to do. So
Yes.
I admired him, and also Manuel Neuer. I mean, I think a lot of
Yeah,
people
Nor.
like
Yeah.
him with
Okay.
his
Know
positioning
that one
and
well.
his footwork, yeah, and all that stuff.
So I hear a couple of different leagues out there. It sounds like you follow keepers in different leagues. Is that correct?
Yeah, I just take different pieces of each goalkeeper's game to just add to my own to see what I can do to get better.
Nice. Okay. And this distributed appropriately. Okay. Like that, man. Like that. All right. So, who are your favorite players other than the goalkeeper and why?
I like probably Cristiano Ronaldo. He's just definitely my
Oh,
favorite. Just I
all right.
followed him throughout his career. Just always enjoyed watching him play.
Okay. All right. Unfortunately, he didn't play this weekend.
No, he did not.
Yes. So, do you think he's going to stay with Man U, or what are your thoughts on that? What do you think?
It seems like he wants to leave to find a Champions League team, but I don't know. They're looking a little bit rough after this past weekend. So I think he might
Yeah.
be looking to move. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you for that. All right. So, what's up next for you in your playing career, and after, what do you see yourself in the future doing when it comes to football? What is your outlook there?
I think right now I'm just gonna work on my academics. I know that was a big goal of mine just to make it to the college level, and that would be the finish of my soccer career. But now I had an injury this past year, so it's been kind of hard. But we'll see. Maybe next year I can get back there on the field.
Got you. Okay. All right. How big of an influence has your parents been as far as the game and your playing career so far?
My dad, of course, he loves soccer, so I mean, he gave that gift to me, and so I've been playing for a long time, and he's been teaching me different things from a striker's point of view. Like, so it's good we balance each other out to know
Okay.
what each other. Yeah.
Got you. All right. What critical advice has he given you when it comes to certain situations, maybe in the game, and then what advice has he given you off the field that you can, advise kids, players your age, what as far as certain things that you asked him or he gave you to enlighten us a little bit with.
I think just to forget about small mistakes that you'll make up for
Okay.
it, and at the end of the day, they don't really matter. So you shouldn't really let that affect your mind too much. Just get back out
Got you.
there. You'll play better when you're not thinking about those mistakes.
Oh, fantastic. Excellent. All right. And thank you for that. And then, of course, what advice do you have for players your age to affect the game, as you just said? What do you suggest folks to get to the point where you are to affect the game?
Just to make sure you communicate with your coaches because they know what to do. They'll have the best advice for you. But really, just to work on your own game, just to perfect your weaker foot, and to just staying fit is another a big thing that, that helps with everything. And
No.
learning the fundamentals, whether it's catching the ball or kicking the ball, you need to know the
Okay.
basics.
Now, did you have or do you just have coaches that you work with on your club team, or did you go to camps, or how did you work as far as the basics, like you said? How did you improve that in your
I
ability?
have a few coaches. Well, at first, it started off with just watching YouTube videos on how to get better and just looking at different drills,
Oh,
then
that's smart. Okay.
practicing with some
Okay.
cones and
I like
brother,
that.
all that stuff. And then, of course, I have some coaches with my club team, and also I went to a few camps that
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. All right, here's a question I'm gonna ask everybody that I do an interview with. What changes would you like to see for the current game in your mind to make the game better in your mind?
Uh, I like this new substitution rule that the Premier League has added this year, but a big thing I would like to add is the offsides rule now with VAR, how a lot of the times it's offsides and they're letting them play. And I just don't like that because a lot of the time, players are just going full force and that just can cause injuries and unnecessary injuries
Good
at the
point.
yeah.
Good point. Especially being a goalkeeper and you're coming out to make a save that you necessarily didn't have to, right? And you might have a season-ending injury. Okay, yeah, I didn't think about that one. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. All right, and appreciate your time. And any shout outs to any friends, family, anybody you want to shout
Uh,
out to?
I'll just give a shout out to my older brother Ryan. This,
Okay. All right, right on. All right, well, folks, Mr. Austin Jobson, we appreciate you being on the show. And if in the future you do have time and can join us again for any more of your thoughts, we'd love to have you back.
all right, thank you
All
for
right.
having me. Thank you.
Thank you as well. All right. All right, folks, and that's our show for tonight. And do tune in. I have a special video of Austin's highlights. And there you have it. The goalkeeper position. Huge, huge, huge factor in the game. You've heard it from a player that has played a position in the top form. And at the age that he is, he's very mature, as you can see, but has a very, very unique philosophy on the game. So I hope you did learn something this evening. And check out his video next. And this is GB signing off for Upper 90 Plus, where we always affect the game. Take care.
Turn the music up, I got my records on. I shut the world outside until the lights come on. Maybe the streets are light, maybe the trees are gone, but I feel my heart start beating to my favorite song. And